Welcome everyone to the next class and a new chapter to begin with, that is the biological classification. Now, when we are talking about biological classification, that means it is a actually scientific process in which organisms are grouped into different small categories on the basis of the similarities and dissimilarities. That means when we are classifying different organisms based on their similarities, dissimilarities, how they are related to one another, that particular procedure, scientifically done procedure, is known as the biological classification. Now, actually, when we are doing the biological classification, then it becomes easier to know about the different type of organisms, how they are related to one another, what is their phylogenetic affinities. All these things become easier for our study. That's why actually we do the biological classification. Now, there are actually three different types of main classification, like the phylogenetic system of classification, which is based on morphological characters and it was given by Linnaeus. Then the natural system of classification, which was given by Bentham and Hooker, and this is considered on by comparing the characters of some similarities and non dissimilarities between organisms. And the phylogenetic system, which was given by Engler and Prandtl, and which is strictly based on the phylogenetic, that is evolutionary trends. Now, these things actually we will study in details later, but now based on these things actually the whole biological classification was done. First of all, Linnaeus divided the whole living organisms into two different classes or two different kingdoms. One is the plantae and other is the animalia. That means those which were green and somewhat like plant-like characters, those were considered under plant kingdom, and the others which were able to move, their body structures were similar, those were considered under animalia. So based on different characters, like their size, shape, morphology, physiology, etc., all these characters were taken, and on that basis the whole living organisms were considered under two different groups. Then Ernst Haeckel, he divided the whole living system into three different kingdoms: Animalia, Plantae and Protista. That is, the microorganisms were also taken into consideration. Then came the four kingdom concept. Copeland put forward this four kingdom concept, and he divided the living world into Monera, Protista, Plantae and Animalia. Then came the finally five kingdom concept, which we will now follow. It was given by Whittaker, and according to this system of classification, the whole living organisms are classified into Monera, Protista, Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. Actually, now you can see this diagram. This was actually done on the basis of Whittaker's study regarding the five kingdom concept. Okay, so those which animals which were multicellular heterotrophic, they were considered under the kingdom Animalia. Got it? Then the photosynthetic organisms were considered under Plantae kingdom. Then multicellular fungi and the fungi kingdom. Then the unicellular plants, unicellular fungi, protozoans, all these were considered under the Protista kingdom. And the prokaryotic organisms like bacteria, etc., were considered under kingdom Monera. So while he was studying this thing, now you can see that the arrowheads are moving towards the upper portion. That means the kingdom Monera, somehow or the other, it has evolved, developed and got divided into different types. Okay, so this is Protista kingdom, Monera kingdom and the three further divisions. Now the whole actually classification system based this five kingdom concept, this classification was done on the complexity of structures. Complexity of cell structure, that means the whether the cell is eukaryotic or prokaryotic. Now Monerans, the diagram itself, it is indicating properly that these are the prokaryotes. Prokaryotes, we know that these are the organisms which lack a membrane bound nucleus. So these are considered under the prokaryotes. Then complex cells, that is the eukaryotes, which bear the proper membrane bound nucleus. So those are the eukaryotes, that is the Protista, Animalia, fungi, Plantae, all these come under the eukaryotes. Okay. Then second criteria he took was the complexity of body structure, whether it is a unicellular organism or a multicellular organism. Now if it is a simple unicellular organism, then we consider them in under Protista or Monera, and if these are multicellular organisms, then they are considered in Plantae, fungi and animalia. Okay, then their mode of nutrition, whether they are autotrophic or heterotrophic. Now we know what is autotrophic. Autotrophic means those which can prepare their own food. Heterotrophic plants which cannot prepare, or organisms which are dependent on others for their nutrition. So based on that nutrition also we can divide them into different categories, like autotrophic photosynthesis, heterotropy absorption, heterotropy ingestion. That means in animals they ingest directly, isn't it? They will eat the other organisms, so those are the consumers. Heterotropy, fungi, and like this type of organisms, what happen? They absorb the nutrition, that's why those are the decomposers. Okay, so absorb, that's why their heterotrophic absorption is said. So the nutrition accordingly also, based on the mode of nutrition, they can be divided into different groups. Then again, on the basis of their reproduction, how they are reproducing, whether sexual reproduction is present or not, what type of mode of sexual reproduction is present. So again, on the basis of that particular category also, these organisms can be divided. Okay, and finally the phylogenetic relationship, how they are interrelated with one another. Now the arrowhead, what I have said earlier, this arrowhead is indicating that the monerans, they have one class have evolved separately, others they have evolved to form the protistans, then animalia, fungi, plantae. So all these have evolved from a single group. Okay, so this is their phylogenetic tree. So based on these characters, main 5 characters actually, complexity of cell structure, complexity of body structure, mode of nutrition, reproduction and phylogenetic relationship, Whittaker divided the whole living organisms into the 5 kingdoms. So the 5 kingdom concept is very important. Now next, from the next class, we will go in details to the Monera, Protista and all the other kingdoms, whatever we will study. Okay, so up till now, the advantages, disadvantages, all these things are important. So go through the books also. Okay, go through the books, study them properly.